of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
No Nigeria is more Nigeria than any Nigeria.
That's right.
Of course, it's obviously a wet Tuesday down here in Umuahia, Abia State. This kind of condition would avail a number of persons the opportunity to give excuses and complaints on why they will not be able to meet up with a scheduled activity on time. Well, at that point, I resoluted that, okay, it depends on the nature of the things you do. Given the kind of our job, of course, head will roll. If that kind of excuse or those excuses come in, when you have a time to carry out your responsibility. Well, let's see how it goes. It's a cozy morning down here. A very good morning to you and welcome to Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. This morning, we are still tracking activities and developments in the state so that it would position and inform areas and lines of policies, programs that would be rolling down from the second phase of this administration in Abia State. That's where our focus would be. Pinning as we discuss Standpoint this morning. Ike Ogbunaya, it's good to have you join the program. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Moses Ben. We thank God, like you rightly said, it's quite cozy and chilly, especially here in the studio. Sometimes when you come in here, you need to...
I try as much as possible not to mention that.
You need to pad yourself so that you don't get cold. But it's okay. We thank God for his mercies and grace. It's another beautiful day. We're looking forward to a wonderful interaction. Well, in Abia, so far so good. We will not say Oti is not doing well. He's trying. But there will always be a but. There will always be a but. So it is those bots that we want him to take care of. So thank God for his mercies.
I don't know Sam's reaction to this issue, those bots, because by the time you don't see reactions from the government when it comes to those bots, is it that, okay, they feel that it's nothing, it's just a tantrum, is from the angle of those who would want to see the governance under this particular administration the other way around. Yes. But those bots are always important.
They're always very critical.
They're
always very, very critical, and they must be given attention to.
All right, we'll dwell on that this morning as we still discuss Abia State marking 1 year tomorrow. But immediate past Deputy Governor of Abia State and Chairman People's Democratic Party Central Working Committee for the Grand Reception of the Board of Trustees Chairman Ude Okochukwu says preparations and planning for the grand reception of PDP BOT Chairman Adolphus Wabara has been on top gear in Abia State. Speaking during a press briefing in Umuahia, Okochukwu stated that the event, which would hold on the first day of June at the Trade Mall Center in Umuahia, will have both national and state party stakeholders, party faithful, former governors and 7 governors of PDP, acting national chairman, the chairman of the event and governor for your state, Seyi Makinde, and the chief host, governor of Enugu State, Peter Mbah, describing Wabara as a man with a dynamic leadership style. Okochukwu said that his occupation of the opposition at this time in the political history of the People's Democratic Party would bring a new form and changes to the People's Democratic Party nationally. Incorruptible Sam, you're welcome to Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. Last week, of course, the stakeholders converged at the PDP Secretariat in Umuahia. Of course, it was an outing that one would say, oh, where did these people come out from? Another one will be taking a ship this weekend, but welcoming Adolphus Wabara, one-time Senate President of Nigeria, that will take a place. Will this actually position the party nationally, given the things that have been playing out since they were locked off as the leading party in Nigeria?
They needed this, actually. Yeah. Good morning to you, Ben Moses. This is one thing that they need now. If possible, back-to-back event like this. Definitely. Because to so many people, PDP, they are no longer here. They are not the big party that Abians used to know.
People are still saying that the PDP, they've faced off.
Yeah. So with this, it shows that, okay, they have big things actually coming. And also maybe another way to tell those that have left or defected, we are still alive. Maybe one way or the other to lure them back, because some callers, when they call, they will tell you where they went to. There is no way there. They will better come back, or so that might also be another thing. And I'm not going to. I doubt. I'm not going to doubt it if after this meeting, maybe a few months from now, you hear that those of them that left
will be returning. If you were the one, would you have the face to do that?
Definitely. Yes. The politicians, are they actually? Have you seen any?
That's the problem. Nobody's ashamed of anything.
Any shameful?
You're saying they don't have faith.
No, they don't. See, after this event,
it's possible they could come back to the party.
After this event and it becomes stronger, you see some of them. They want to come back. Maybe the news might not carry it that moment. They will come back. Then they will say, "See." Just like some of them are so funny that they will tell you, okay, we thought the other party was actually better. That they slept, and God told them that no, PDP is actually the best party.
They had a revelation.
Yes, that they had a revelation. They will come up to say that. So it's a beautiful one. Whatever PDP will do to make sure that they will keep being that strong party. As far as Abia State is concerned, they better do it. In as much as so many of us are no longer fans of a particular party. We look at faces and those that will come in there and do the work. But as a party, as a family, that they will always say that they are. They need to make sure that the family is still healthy. So on their own part, I must give them kudos, because at this point, things like this is the only thing that will tell you, okay, we are still here. We are still that stronger family. Aside it will look as if they are not serious. But come on. It's a big one, because PDP can't, after so many years, it can't just die like that, if you ask me.
All right, Ike, Sam just reminded me something that happened last week. The immediate past governor, Okezie Ikpeazu, said that, come on, we are here to build the party. He made the comment last week when they converged at their secretariat. And again, Ude Okochukwu is coming up to say preparations have been on top gear, anticipating the welcoming of the BOT chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Adolphus Wabara, this Saturday. Defection have taken place in Abia State, as a matter of fact. Would this even give a signal that, okay, let's say the rebirth, something has happened anyway, but the rebirth on how to roll out things and bring the party stakeholders, party faithful, everybody in good shape?
Yeah, I tell you the truth. Those who defected may not have seen this coming. They probably did not know that there's something big, something huge in the offing that is being cooked. That's politics for you. It's very dynamic. You understand? On Saturday, from what we have seen, it appears it's going to be a carnival of some sort. Because if you follow the trajectory of the BOT chairman, Wabara himself, he started politics from councillorship, until he rose to become a Senate president. So people are always in a hurry to dismiss things. That is the end. You don't dismiss things like that. Let us not forget that the bone shall always rise again. Bones can still rise again. So, and look at it from this other perspective. PDP and Labour Party are at the verge of probably merging.
Yes, consultations at the national level. Consultations, permutations have been on.
When you reconcile or merge at the national level, it will transcend to
down to the subnational.
So that's politics for you. Don't always be in a hurry to dismiss things. People should be calm. You stoop, you monitor. You think before you talk.
And the figureheads there have said that, come on, if it resorts to merging for us to rescue this country, we'll get into it and then reshape things.
Let's get it. And then somebody somewhere who probably may not even know what is going on will just be busy, heaving all manner of criticisms. Fine, criticisms are okay. But I always think before I talk. That's me.
All right.
So I have never wanted to dismiss PDP. Even though they probably didn't do things well. Of course, they didn't. Let's the immediate past administration. But you can always give people another chance. I see a huge carnival coming up because the who and who in PDP, they may likely converge at that place. And for me, those who defected, they didn't see this coming. They never knew that something like this was cooking. So that's politics for you. And then, like I said, let's think twice before we take actions. And then let us always be in a hurry to dismiss concepts, dismiss ideas, dismiss people, because you may never know that their comeback is being planned.
All right, that event will take place at Trade Mall Center, Umahia. Joining us this morning on Standpoint to still give a 2 cent talking about opinion. In as much as we are here in Abia State, every policy, program, activities, and programs of this government would affect everybody in the state, either directly or indirectly. To still look at 365 days in office, the way forward, we are being joined by a fellow of the Institute of Forensic and Fraud Investigators of Nigeria, fellow of Ethical Leadership of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Interpol Systems Managing Consultant, the National Central Bureau, Sachikwe Udensi. A very good morning to you, sir, and thank you for joining Standpoint.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
How have you been? Let us put up that question. Despite the fact we have been lived with new regulations in terms of policy actions and statements by both the national and sub-national governments, sir.
Well, it has been a very traumatic year. Every day we wake up, we hear a new thing. We think things will be better, and we're working towards that, hoping that our efforts will yield something positive.
All right, let us discuss our dear state, Abia State, as one of the states at this point in time, except those states that through off-cycle election, they got their own new tenure. But tomorrow, precisely 29th May, the federal government, including Abia State, will be marking 1 year, I beg your pardon, in office. There have been contributions, introspect into what will be happening and all of that, but it's good. We take a scorecard, we take stock. So far, so good. What brought us to where we are at the moment to inform the future and the next action? Number of persons have said that, of course, 365 days of Dr. Alex Otti is about distinguished and exemplary leadership style. You've been in this state, you've been following politics and activities in the state, sir. Let us have your own assessment before we bring in other issues within this period of time under this administration about this government.
Well, thank you very much. You know that when this government took over, you also know that there was a purpose for which the government was changed. People were no more happy with what was going on with the PDP government, 3 successive PDP's governments, and people were no more happy. So there was a need for change. So once this government came in, people will at least heave the sigh of relief that maybe a Daniel has come to judgment. But like I keep saying each time I'm asked this question, at least for a few days behind, I keep saying that 1 year is too short, and it is too soon to properly evaluate a 4-year term of a government, whether it is state or federal government. 1 year is just too short, because usually 1 year is the year you begin to put together the various instrumentalities of government. In doing that, you cannot effectively judge any government or assess it properly. You can't assess properly any government, federal, state level, within 1 year. That is why I feel a little bit very uncomfortable with what we see going on today in the states. All the states, almost all the states, especially those who have a 4-year tenure to go, not the off-season governments of the states. We have seen lots of celebrations, unveiling and launching of road projects, unveiling of other infrastructural projects. It appears there's too much celebration going on, and it is needless. It is needless to the extent to which we have seen the amount of money that has been spent so far. What the estimates we have from 4 assessing economists, they think that what is going on in states and local governments and also at the federal level will cost this government, Nigerian people, about 36 billion naira. That is a needless waste of money.
Just for the celebration, flagging of projects and other...
Flagging of unveiling, flagging off, launching of projects. It will cost this nation about 36 billion. You see, everybody is celebrating. Red carpets are everywhere. It is unnecessary. It is unnecessary to the extent to which, if you consider the sufferings of the people, it becomes extremely unnecessary. But Moses, let me give you some specifics of what I mean, if you don't mind.
All right.
From June, when most of these governments started, if you see with the banning or with the removal of the subsidy on petroleum, allocations to local governments, states, and federal government increased dramatically. It has always hovered around 600 and 700 billion. But from June, the first sharing of FAC amount of June, the states, federal government, and local governments got 1.13 trillion, almost doubled what they used to get. In July, it was 1.89 trillion, almost tripled. It continued that way. August 1.8, continued, it kept increasing. If you now take what they got in February, the 9th month, February of 2024, almost 2.07 trillion. So in 9 months, federal, states, and local governments have earned 14.6 trillion, almost 15 trillion. And then you just deposit with what they are celebrating. Just deposit with the sufferings of the people. So as much as you were increasing in revenue, increasing in income, the people were still suffering. While this was going on, the federal government increased the prices of petroleum products. In May 2023, 1 kg of gas was about 920. But look at what it is today. Almost 42% increment. It is now 1,318. The petroleum products in 2023, petrol was selling at 696. We have 193% increase today. The people are suffering more. And then just deposit also with the salaries, pension, emoluments of the people, both in the private and public sector. It has not increased. Salaries have not increased. While state, local governments, and the federal government got more money, salaries remain static. Even some states were not even able to pay the 35,000 naira as provided by the federal government, even when the federal government has given them part of the money. Some states did not pay, including my state, Abia. So as much as we are happy that there is some movement, if you look at the various overall index and indices, it is still very pathetic. Nationally, in May 2023, the exchange rate of foreign currencies, for example, the US dollar, the exchange rate was at 461 naira per dollar. Today, it's at 1,507. 163% increment. Look at insecurity. With all the money that has come in, as of June, when they took over 2023, the death rate, monthly death rate nationwide by way of banditry, kidnapping, insecurity generally, was almost 1,924 in June 2023. It has remained about the same thing, if not higher, a little bit. Look at the crime index nationwide. You have gotten more money. There's no more hindrances in terms of the increased number of funds you are getting. Subsidy has been removed. Your income has gone up 3 times what it used to be. In fact, more than 3 times. Still, the salaries of the workers remained static. Pensioners were not able to get something substantial to justify the amount of money that has come in nationwide, not only Abia. If you want to make a good analysis, make a national analysis. You can use it to juxtapose what is also happening in your state. Nationwide. The food insecurity, the food inflation, let me give you an example. In June 2023, the inflation rate with foodstuff was about 25%. Today, it is about 50%, almost 50%. The food inflation. You look at healthcare. Despite all the monies we have got, there's no appreciable change in the welfare as it regards to health of the people. Despite all these monies we have gotten. That is the way I'm not going to make my judgment that some road has been built somewhere.
But these activities, don't you think that these activities are up here to a kind of tell the people that the government you elected into office, that this is what we have been able to do in line with the promises or manifesto presented to you during the electioneering period? That's on one side. And also to inform this government at different level on how to re-strategize and then deliver governance during the coming years. Don't you see it from that angle, sir?
Absolutely. I agree with you. One could also see it from that angle. But the best angle to see it from is, what do you have on hand? And what have you used what you have on hand to do? That is my better angle to look at it. If you take a look at health costs, the cost of healthcare in the country today, where are we? In June 2023, the health cost compared to what we have right now has increased to 150% more. The cost of taking care of health issues, it has increased. That's one area you must have to look at, Mr. Moses. Very important area. That area is in the area of emergency care. So whenever I'm looking at health, I'm not looking at somebody has a small health issue and he can by himself even drive to a hospital. No. When there's an emergency, when somebody has been taken to hospital in an emergency situation, what is the problem? What has happened? What we used to have when we didn't have so much money, compare it with what is happening when we now have about 3 times what we used to have. There's no change. It has even got worse. Emergency care in our emergency sectors, I always go to hospitals. If you ask the chief medical officer of FMC, from time to time I send money even to his own account to see how we can offset the medical bills of people who are being held. Nigeria is the only country in the world where you are being held in hospital because you are owing medical bills. Nigeria is the only country in the world where before even an emergency situation, you cannot be treated urgently. You'll be told to go and make deposit, even in an emergency situation. So that is the yardsticks. So it will use in measuring. If you look at also the area of transportation, as it affects the poor man, a chunk of our people within the cities, they use motorcycles. The cost of motorcycles in transportation has increased sizably without cushioning. That is where it concerns me, Mr. Moses. That is where it concerns me. If problems exist, as it will always exist, and you are making more money, what effort are you making to cushion the effect of it? That is what we should be looking at.
All right, sir. Before these persons come to the public to say, okay, I want to represent you in this capacity, they give this belief, this confidence that they will be able to do this. At the end of the day, the electorate, through the medium election, vote them into power. Given the condition as we are assessing activities at this point in time in Nigeria, surrounding the national and subnational government, where do we channel the blames to? The people at the end of the day will do their own responsibility in carrying out the obligation, because as a citizen in a democratic setting, you must participate in electioneering activities, being one of your obligations. They do this. At the end of the day, in terms of payback, what you are reeling out this money is what the Nigerian citizens are seeing. Where do we channel the blame to in order to inform our actions in this country?
The channel of blame goes both ways. Both the governor and the governed. The one who is governing and the one who is governed. In fact, if you ask me, I tend to blame those who are governed more than those who are governing.
How about that?
Look, let me give you information. You see very clearly, I've been on radio programs for a long time. And you realize that when people call in to make comments, you see that they align their comments and thinking, they align their judgments to their benefactor. If he's a PDP man, he is aligning his judgment for the benefit of PDP. If he's APC, he's aligning for the benefit of APC. Nobody is aligning to the benefit of honesty and fair play and justice. They're not doing that. So you see, you have a debt, you have a lack of honesty in the system. It is that lack of honesty that those who are governing you are taking advantage of. When they take advantage of your lack of honesty, they use you to their own purpose. The fact remains today, Mr. Moses, that our leaders have deviated massively from the welfare of the people to a large extent. If you just oppose what they have received with what they ought to be doing, look at pensioners. They are still dying. I'm not saying that there's no improvement on what it used to be yesterday. If you ask me in Abia State, there's an improvement. But if you consider what they have received in terms of income and just oppose it with what they have done in terms of payment of pensioners and labor-related matters, you see that they have performed poorly, very poorly. Workers are not receiving equidistant salaries to justify their work. They are not earning enough that will make them have livable wage. That is the important thing I'm talking about. If somebody is earning 200 naira, for example, Moses, and he is earning this money because his master has a contract that pays him 100 million, for example. If the contract increases by his own effort and by the effort of Providence, if the money increases 3 times, will you continue to pay him his old salary, even when he has contributed to the increment of the income? That is where I'm saying that it is not right, working properly. Our people are still in penury, despite the massive increment that has come from revenues, from subsidy removal. Our people are still suffering. They are still serious penury. But I cannot place a proper judgment in 1 year. That is what I'm saying. As much as I've seen these negatives, I cannot criticize any government in just 1 year. I must give them at least 3 years. And then I will now just oppose what they have received and also just oppose what they have promised the people. We equidistantly to what has come to them. That is when, after 3 years, if we're entering the 4th year for election, that is when judgment will come.
All right, of course, the issue of workers' welfare, it's a big cry down here in Abia State. A few days ago, from the tables of the organized labor in Abia State, we saw a memo. We'll give you time to address this issue, sir, while this government will be tackling or will be roving around 1 year tomorrow in office, given the present condition at the moment in this country. This is Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics. We're going to a short break. We are live on YouTube. That's at Rapid 96.5 FM. You can as well drop your message on our WhatsApp page on 09160 333 965. You can do us an SMS message to 09160 000 965. We are still speaking this morning with Sir Chikwu Udonsi. We'll be back shortly to get your own contribution on what we are doing this morning. Stay with us.
Arrive alive. Respect traffic rules. Do not drink and drive. Do not drive and drink. Every life on the road is precious. Drive safely. Be attentive and ensure your journey doesn't become a tragedy.
Stop wawawa on our roads. Nwanne m onye Abia. Mata na ndụ gị dị ndị Abia mkpa. Kwụsị wawawa n'okporo ụzọ anyị. Drive safely.
This message is powered by Abia State Orientation Agency.
Ozia, Sinaka Abia State Orientation Agency. Na Abia Runu. Nobody
Beauty is power. A smile is its sword. Beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is all around us. So, if you want to look good always, visit Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. It's new, it's exclusive, and the happening store in beauty products. We deal on perfumes and cosmetics such as body lotions, facial creams and scrubs, body sprays, powders, bath wash, and all kinds of quality cosmetics with affordable prices. Contact us at number 41 Fimbers Road, Umuahia, or number 28 School Road, Umuahia, all in Abia State. Call us on 0806 951 2773 or email us at wandsgleam@gmail.com. Masters and Wands Cosmetics stores. Quality is our name. Signed, management.
Akahu maramaga kruyonye Bilos Paint. Why boy anya pika Bilos Paint? What German na paint? Just use Godia for once and you go chewing gum for your wall on tele. In short, the paint get antifungal. That is to say, nyama no go fit attack your wall. Lie, glossy, emotion, satin, stantes, matte, even self with Tesco. Go try ni de kwente na 080-350-87498 or 091-3888-4292. We there for number 8 Mission Hill behind God is Good Motors. Umuahia. Bilox Paint. Iwotantam.
Celebrating your family and friends has become cheap like a cup of tea, easy as ABC, and rapid like it should be. You can send birthday greetings and goodwill messages on Rapid FM for just 1,000 naira. Other events like weddings, child dedication, housewarmings, religious and government functions go for even less, 500 naira. Now, your loved ones have no excuse not to celebrate you rapidly on your day because all they have to do is visit our website at www.rapidfm965.com/request or call 07049 220965.
Rapid 96.5 FM.
The sound of your city.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It's a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. So this is beyond partisan politics. Nigeria is on drip. Nigeria is on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
And these are kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with happenings in the polity.
I am an employee of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of the family. And he must protect me.
All the resources available in this country has to come together at this time to see how best we can move forward. The interest of Nigeria is part of it.
Standpoint.
Standpoint, the center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. That's right.
Yeah, welcome back to Standpoint, the saint of all talks of politics on Rapid 96.5 FM, while we are looking at marking 365 days in office, tomorrow 29th. What so far, so good can we say about both the national, specifically Abia State government, with regards to promises and programs they've put in place? We still have our guest this morning virtually with us, Sachiko Dunsi. You're welcome back to the program, sir.
Thanks for still having me.
All right, let's now narrow down the conversation to Abia State precisely, because arguments have surfaced that look at, you are saying you are putting this and that's in place, recognizing your stay in office within 1 year. Few days ago, the organized labor in Abia State handed a 14-day ultimatum to Governor Alex Otti to ensure full payment of the 30,000 naira national minimum wage and the 35,000 naira palliative wage award approved by the federal government for workers in the state. Of course, the letter was signed by the state chairman, Comrade Okoro Ogbonnaya. This has been on, and tomorrow will be saying 1 year in office. Let us have your reaction to this issue at this point in time again.
Thank you very much. I have carefully read the communique as was released by the organized labor. I have also juxtaposed it with what the National Economic Watchdog have said in terms of labor relationships in all states and at the federal government level. I must have to tell you, without any equivocation whatsoever, that as much as I believe that the state government has done, Abia state government has done well in some areas, I can say very clearly that they have not done very well in the area of salaries, remuneration to labor leaders and labor workers in Abia State. I was in shock when I heard that even the 30% minimum wage is not even been implemented in my own state. I was in shock.
30,000 naira.
30,000 naira a month. I was in shock when it's not even implemented at both state and local government level in my state. I was also disappointed to a large extent that even the amount of money provided by the federal government for the cushioning of the removal of subsidy, which was about 35,000 naira, and for which every state government received money for that purpose. I was surprised to find out from Labour that even that 35,000 was not even paid to them by the state government. I do not know the state government's justification for doing that. But if you also know that states like Lagos state government did not just only pay this, they also reduced even the working hours of non-emergency workers in the Lagos state, and also increased massive palliatives for transportation for their workers. If you look at also what is happening in Ebonyi State, the increment of income coming to workers and also some palliatives to help them. Look at just what happened just the other day in Edo State. Some people say that Edo State is because there is election year for Edo State. Well, let it be so. He has increased it from even 30% minimum wage to 30,000 to 70,000. Edo has increased it. People say it is eye service. Well, eye service is better than no service at all. If you call it eye service, it's okay with me. Let us increase the income of our workers. Look at the private sector. The National Economic Watchdog have praised some banks and some other private establishments, especially banks like Zenith, praised them for increasing workers' salary and income to almost 150%. But unfortunately, in my own state, as much as we know that government has done well in some areas, in the area of labor relationships, in the area of payment of salaries, increased salary, at least payment of minimum wage, and also the palliatives as provided by the federal government, to know that these things are not being done in my state. It is not right.
About the palliative, the government has, from time to time, cleared that issue that it was actually distributed. I don't know the position you're coming out from, sir.
The labor group said they have not received it. So who did they distribute it to? It is important that we get these facts right. I have made inquiries from the labor organization. Did you receive the 35% extra? They said they did not. So the state government, if they're saying they are paid, they should also make it public so that the public would know a lot better where the monies have gone to. Because the labor people are saying, we have not received. But apart from that, we're not even talking about what federal government has done. What is the state initiative for salaries? That is very important. What is the state government initiative? If the state government initiative does not properly reflect what it ought to be, it leaves some sour tastes on our mouths. That is where we're coming from. Are you doing what others are doing? Look at other states. Are we poorer than Edo State? Edo is paying 70,000 naira a month minimum wage. Are we poorer than Ebonyi? Ebonyi has increased their salary to almost income and salary to almost 100%. and also some massive palliatives. Ebonyi has cleared all outstanding of pensioners' emoluments. All outstanding for over the years, Ebonyi has cleared it. So what can't we do here? He is doing very well. Let him do a lot better in the area of labor union.
All right, before we bring in our callers at this point, because I know they have one or two contributions to make, human capacity development or empowerment. I don't know your take on that because I can remember the governor talked about recruitment when he was vying for a power. But 1 year down the lane, as a matter of fact, I don't know your impression when it comes to recruitment and empowerment in the state, sir.
I'm not aware of any public arrangement to recruit staff in public sector. If there is, I'm not aware. All I'm aware is that over 10,000 Abians were relieved of their duties because of what the governor called irregular employment position of the previous government. So I am not aware if government have commenced the process of hiring more staff, which is good. But let me give you information, Moses. The fact of the matter is that employment actually is not the business of government. Employment actually is the business of the private sector. What the government does is they create the enabling environment, what we call economic enablers. And then it will ginger economic activity. It is that economic activity gingered by government through its policies. That is what will create employment in the private sector. If I'm in charge in Abia State, I will only use essential services. If your office is where you are redundant, we'll let you go and help you establish yourself in the private sector. There are so many things to do in the private sector. Skills is what is ruling the world today. We are having lack of skills even in Abia State. Skill acquisition. Let us make sure that our rural areas and our communities have people with skills. Because if you, I don't know your state, Moses, but if you go into some of our villages today and you are looking for an electrician, you can't find one. Even when you find one, he gives you a long date before he can come to you because we don't have enough. So the skills is what is lacking. We may have too many electrical engineers, but we don't have electricians. Electricians are the skilled people who knows the work of education. While I don't despise education though, I encourage education, but we should focus more on those areas that create the economic enablers. And those areas are areas of skills. Our state government, if they are doing much, we have not seen it. But we cannot judge them. We cannot evaluate them in just 1 year. We must have to give the state government at least 3 years before we can say they are doing well or they're not doing well.
All right, 09160 000965 or 09160 333 965. Let us have your own contribution on this issue we are looking at this morning on Standpoint. So far, so good. What would be your take? It's good to have you join Standpoint this morning. A very good morning to you and welcome. Okay, we lost that call. 09160 333 965 or 09160 000965. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Ben.
You're welcome. Your name and location, please.
Mr. Chijoke from Benderud.
All right.
Thank you. I want to say that in Abia, we have a lot to celebrate, which even though that our governor has said that it's not going to be a kind of celebration, but a sense of, a sense we can look back and ask ourselves, how are we going on? And I want to say that Abians have said, rejected it. Abians said that they must celebrate this because nobody believes in Abia State that such infrastructure we are witnessing will happen in Abia. Nobody believes that teachers, workers in Abia will receive their monthly salary at the 26th or 27th on the month. So I want to say that this thing is a thing we can look at and celebrate with God. And I am saying that Abians, we should continue to pray for our governor because he said he is yet to show us more, because that Abians gave him their mandate. That is not going to play with it.
All right, round of your thoughts, please.
Talking about job
creation.
Giving Abias a job. He said that that one yet to come, but that he will continue to pay regular.
All right, make up your thoughts. Your time is up.
Thank you.
All right, we appreciate your contribution. Well, you have your opinion, and then we respect your opinion as well. Good morning, and thank you for joining Standpoint.
Hello.
Good morning.
God bless you, my distinguished speaker.
Welcome.
This is the Olugo. All is paid. The revolution is by excellence. If I will go on that. And I want to fire now.
You're welcome.
God bless you. I want to thank Sir God bless you immensely. I have a love for people like you who don't just praise and for governors to give them appointments. I want to thank you because you are talking for the masses. And let me say, 1 year in office of governorship, only infrastructure touch, only. I want to tell you, as far as I'm concerned, workers are crying in Abia. Go and investigate. Pensioners are crying in Abia. Go and investigate. We don't just talk for sacrifice's sake. I want to tell you, I'm not a praise singer. I want to tell you, the pensioners are crying. And if you are making busy roads, our workers are not happy. Pensioners are happy. Who will fly that road? Who will fly that road? I want to tell you, people like us don't talk for you to give us appointments. As far as I'm concerned, I pray for you, God will give you long life. Let me tell you, the governor of Abia started well, but he may be deviated. When he was campaigning, he said everything about pensioners will be every problem about pensioners in Abia, the case of no more. He has just come and abandoned that promise. That is their campaign. So politicians in Nigeria are the same thing. You are coming. You go to increase the way.
All right, Chief Nkwadede, round of your thoughts, please.
Lastly, sir, you don't build roads. Our workers don't get their pay and increase. God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Chief Nkwadede. We appreciate your contribution this morning. We still have to fuse in one or two calls before we round off. Then switch the microphone again to our guest this morning. You can still keep the calls coming, and then your messages on 09160 333 965 or 09160 000 A very good morning to you, and thank you for joining Standpoint.
Good morning, Mr. Ben.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sir Chikudis. This is Bishop Andes of HLO Tampa Secretor.
All right.
Let me tell you the truth. As a pensioner, I have nothing to celebrate. I worked and tired for 35 good years, and within 1 year, somebody came and waived my gratuity. Is that good politics? Is that not inhuman? I don't like it. Even the areas they claim they have paid, I have not received anything. What should I be celebrating? What I'm saying is, let the governor resist bad advice. He made us promise that he will clear all. He didn't say he will select what to pay and what not to pay. Now that he has won, he's playing politics. It's too bad. God bless you.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. Let's just do this last one. Good morning and welcome to Standpoint. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Ben.
You're welcome. Your name and location, please.
My name is Owakwe Chidebere, and I'm representing from Aru, Operenyimbe, LGA. Good morning, Sir Chukwudensi. God bless you, sir. It's very unfortunate that the government that promised us heaven and earth are, beating around the bush this time around. I am happy that the pensioner called in now and complained. How can you work for 35 years and somebody will come out and ask you to waive your gratuity, which is the main thing that even attracted the job to you? Now, what am I saying? If the governor cannot be able to pay the backlog, Why not leave it for any other government that will be coming? Do the ones you can do and leave the rest. You can't be building roads and all the rest of. Yes, we appreciate that. Honestly, he is trying as it has to do with infrastructure. What about human capital development? You're not doing anything about human capacity development. You're not doing anything about it. And you're telling us we should waive this, we should waive that. Look at Enugu State is paying 65,000 naira to level 2 civil servant, while other State is still paying 20-something thousand naira. Come on, what are we actually doing in Abia?
All right, run off your thoughts.
Now somebody will say that you're fighting, you're in opposition and you're fighting the government. No. The main reason of opposition is to checkmate the government in power so that they don't misbehave.
All right,
thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Uwakwe. Let us come back to you, Sir Chikwe. In 50 seconds, as we are about to roll down the second year of this administration, your advice and then those good words that would, at the end of the day, if the government considers it, it will affect the people positively in Abia State.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moses. It is very, very important that I advise this government that they should look into these discrepancies that we have going on. There's so much discrepancies going on. Government tells us that they have paid salaries of all workers in Abia State. Some agents, some parastatals and government agencies are saying they are being owed as much as 9 months. Some say they are being owed as much as 8 months. Government should look into it and find out if it is true. I'm very, very disturbed by the last pensioner I just called. He said that even the arrears of 9 months, which government said they have paid, that he has not received. If this is true, it is disturbing, my brother bosses. Government information that we get should be a consistent information. I should ask the governor to please look into it. It is becoming very disturbing. If we hear one thing from one angle, from another angle, a different thing comes up. We have been told that some local governments are being owed salaries. I just got the information yesterday. And I'm going to reach out to government. Please find a way to have some consistent arrangement. If it is payment of 9 months, let everybody else receive their 9 months. This pensioner have just said something that has just made my day a very bad day. I thought I was going to have a beautiful day today.
Sorry about that.
Let government be consistent with their stories and be honest enough. You're not doing too badly. Don't make assumptions of what you have not done. You are not doing too badly. Don't say things you have not done. Don't make claims of what you have not done. Because when people realize these claims are wrong, all the good ones you have done will go to the winds.
All right, sir.
That is the real thing.
Let us leave it at this point today, and then wish this government a great celebration tomorrow as they team out to showcase activities and programs that have been done within this period of time. Fellow of the Institute of Forensic and Fraud Investigators of Nigeria, Fellow of Ethical Leadership of the University of Nigeria and Suka, Interpol Systems Managing Consultant, the National Central Bureau, Sir Chikwe Udensi. Thank you so much for your time on Standpoint this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Gentlemen, you've seen the situation of things. Drums will roll out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But your input, because what we are doing here is also informing the policies, activities and programs of government for the good people of Abia State.
Sure. And just like we have actually summarized, but be it opposition, the callers, people like Sir Chikwe Udensi, who I believe is not even an opposition, as far as you are from Abia, and you're trying to give, for me, let me say expo to the governor. The governor should appreciate all of us. Yes, appreciate all of us, the media, because if you're betting and you're not seeing your back, someone will be the one to tell you, see, touch water here. So let him see that that's what we are doing. Maybe overwhelmed. And, I will do it, I will declare it. Now you have seen how big it is. Start work. Sir Chikwe then said 1 year is not enough to judge him. Let's believe that in the next 1 year, something bigger will happen. Because Abia wanted the better, situation. And it will not be good that at the end of the first 4 years, they will see the same Abia. Even me, I won't be happy.
All right, Aikobona,
thank you very much. The dream is big. Governor Oti's dream is big, is huge. We can see that. Like I said earlier, there will always be a but. So let him take care of those gray areas. You understand? Sort out those gray areas and then keep moving on. We believe that he will still bequeath a better Abia as he leaves. So far, not bad.
Gentlemen, Iko Bunaya, Incorruptible Sam, thank you so much for your time and standpoint today.
Thank you.
Thank you
we'll
very
do
much.
it tomorrow again. But tomorrow, it will be colorful anyway. Given the
tomorrow is the
line of events tomorrow. We'll keep track and then keep tap also on these issues from time to time. My name is Moses Ben. The next program coming up is Abia 360. Keep that dial. Do not change it as we are coming up to discuss something that also would inform the government's actions from next phase of his administration. Keep the dial here. Good morning.